David Sutter back with you. It is 8:41 on a Wednesday morning, and hopefully your day is off to a good start here on this November 28th. We're smack dab in the middle of the holiday season. My pleasure to welcome back to the program Katie Morgan with the Laramie Chapter, the Daughters of America Revolution, or DAR. Also, they've teamed up with the Civil Air Patrol. And we talked about this earlier, and I appreciate you coming back on because we've had an update here, Katie, in terms of we've had a deadline extended. We'll get to that in just a moment, but I know you guys had some fundraisers. I talked to you before one of the dinners over at the VFW, and I know folks have been able to go online and help out. How have things gone in terms of fundraising for Wreaths across America and trying to lay these wreaths at grave sites coming up at Greenhill this holiday season?
Well, locally we've had great support from a number of businesses, both DAR and the Civil Air Patrol. The VFW stepped up and did a couple of fundraising dinners, and we're pleased that we've raised enough money right now, around 500 wreaths altogether, to lay up the cemetery. Now that's not going to cover all the veterans' graves. There's around 1,700 veteran graves, but we'll be able to cover quite a few, considering this is the first year that we've really stepped up an effort to cover Greenhill Cemetary. We're really pleased with the support we've gotten from the community. Absolutely,
and there's still now a chance for folks to help out because, as you were telling me via email earlier this week, the deadline's been extended so people can still help out to purchase even more wreaths.
Yes, all you have to do is do a Google search or whatever search engine for Wreaths across America. You go to their website, there's it says sponsor a wreath. You search for Greenhill Cemetery in Laramie. You can search by location. You can also search by organization, the Laramie Chapter of DAR or the local Civil Air Patrol, and you can make your contribution online.
As simple as that sounds, folks, trust me, I just Googled Wreaths across America. I just happen to be using that search engine, by the way, and there it is, sponsor Wreaths right there. You just click on it, and you can do that, and then they've got the drop down for a specific cemetery or a local fundraising group right below that sponsor Wreaths button. So it is actually pretty simple, like you just laid out here. Now, I know you would love to get more help, and hopefully, folks, this will help spread the word for folks. If you still want to join in, maybe it slipped your mind or something, or you didn't go to one of the fundraising efforts over at the VFW. If you still want to help out, you can do that by sponsoring a wreath. Also, you're looking for volunteers and assistance when it comes to what's going on with the ceremony of actually laying the wreaths out at the grave sites coming up December 15th. December 15th at 11, there'll be a ceremony coordinated by the Civil Air Patrol. And then we'll be laying the wreaths on the graves. We have volunteers coming from our DAR chapter, the CAP, and also the VFW. But if anybody wants to come out, it's a very nice little ceremony, and wants to come out and help lay wreaths, we'd appreciate the support. Now, it's a volunteer effort nationwide to get these wreaths delivered all over the country. Last year they delivered over 1 million wreaths to 1,200 locations. So at some point before the 15th, there'll be a truck rolling into Laramie, and we'll be calling the VFW and our members and the CAP to get that truck unloaded and then get the wreaths to the ceremony. We won't know till real close to the ceremony when the wreaths are coming, and then we'll get them laid. The VFW, you know, does the flags on the veterans' graves for Memorial Day, so they're going to help us line out and get as many veteran graves covered. But there's still time to order a wreath, and certainly everybody and anybody is welcome to the ceremony. It'll be near the GAR monument where they do the Memorial Day ceremony at the cemetery. So if they're looking where to find the location, I'm sure we'll be pretty easy to spot. So. All right, and that's coming up on December 15th at 11 a.m. at Greenhill Cemetery, top of 15th Street, just kind of north of the UW campus there. Now, here's a difficult question, and I don't even know if you know the answer to this, Katie, but with the 1,700 grave sites, is it difficult to pick the 500 that get the wreaths that you have right now, kind of, so to speak? You know, we'll do the best we can. We've had a couple of donations come in for people that ask specifically for a parent grave or something to be, then we'll make sure we'll cover those few. And other than that, we'll just fan out and do as many as we can and try to cover the cemetery as best we can. The only hitch might be on the 15th if for some reason there's a delay in the wreaths. We all know Laramie weather in the winter, and sometimes every highway in and out of town gets shut down. We're all familiar with that, but if that happens, we'll have the ceremony, and then as soon as the wreaths comes, we'll call everybody back and
and get them out. So, but
All right.
those of us who live in Laramie understand that that's always a possibility.
It just happened this past weekend on Saturday night / early Sunday morning that we were kind of boxed in. So I'll knock on wood that hopefully we get some good weather, cross our fingers. And let me know if something does come up and the date changes. Let me know. I'd love to pass that along to folks in the listening audience if something does happen.
I sure will. If you know, the ceremony's definitely a go. If something happens getting the truck in here, then I'll let you know, and I'm sure that won't be an issue. I know people will be happy to run back out and get them out there, so we're not too concerned about that, but it is Laramie.
You mentioned partnering with the Civil Air Patrol, the Daughters of America Revolution, the Laramie Chapter. I know last year, when you spoke earlier this fall, you talked about how you kind of did some fundraising efforts for the site up in Casper, the only historic site in the state.
It's the only veteran cemetery in Wyoming.
Yeah, and so, but you made the decision to kind of come locally here. Any hiccups along the way? I guess has this been kind of a learning process, or was it a little bit easier since you went through what you did last year at the Veterans Cemetery?
Yeah, we kind of knew how the system worked, and this year we wanted to focus our efforts locally. A lot of the members did. CAP did locally. We wanted to help them expand our efforts locally, the VFW, and a lot of people just said within the Laramie community, gee, we'd like to see that up at our own ceremony, our own cemetery expanded.
Yeah. Well,
so and Casper, people have the Veteran Cemetery up there covered, so we're good.
All right. Well, that's I'm glad to hear it. Again, you can still help out, folks. Again, just Google or search whatever engine it is. Search Wreaths Across America, and it'll pop up. Just click on their website, which is wreathsacrossamerica.org, and then you can sponsor Wreath. There's a specific cemetery that you can click on there, local fundraising groups, things like that. So it's actually pretty simple right there in the middle of the home page that I'm looking at in front of me right now. I know you folks can't see it for yourself here as I'm on the radio, but trust me, when I have it right in front of me, I could actually bring Katie on the other side of the counter over here so she could verify exactly what I'm looking at. But if you want to help out, again, cost for these?
$15 a wreath, so it's a real inexpensive way to do a little something extra for Christmas. Yesterday was Giving Tuesday, so you can still give on Wednesday and give through Mondays.
Yeah, through December 3rd. So you got through next Monday. Maybe it slipped your mind. Again, I had Katie on before one of their fundraising dinners back in earlier this month. Actually, I think it was late October. But when it comes to this, if it maybe slipped your mind, you still got a chance to help out. I know this community has been great in terms of giving back for a number of different things that are going on this time of year, and always is great. So hopefully you get some more support, and maybe folks purchase some reason and get more than the 500. Maybe we get closer to that goal this year. I appreciate you coming back in and fill us in.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.